This is Pete Jones, and you are listening to the Dragons Are Real podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about my trip to UK Games Expo and some of the pictures I made and some of the people I met. For those outside the UK Games Expo is a show held in the first weekend of June, and it covers board games, war games and role-playing games. It's held in two venues, the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham, the NEC, with two halls of trade stands and a third hall for open gaming and the bring and buy. And then the other venue is the Hilton Metropole Hotel across the road, where the role-playing games are. So today is Friday the 31st of May, and it's the first day of UK Games Expo, so I'll be travelling down shortly. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning, just waiting for the chaps to turn up at the house, and then in the car and off we go. It's now 11:30, arrived at Expo and in the main hall. So let's have a wander around and see what we can find. So first purchase made, Lamentations of the Flame Princess, the two adventure books, which is a compilation of all the After Prince adventures, and you get a free rulebook with it as well, so that's to spare for my players. Just had a word with James Raggy about the referee book for Lamentations of the Flame Princess, and News Off the Press is hoping to have it done by summer, which is good news for those people who already have the Rules of Magic book. Got a bite of lunch, and the next purchase of the day is Vektorace, a vector racing game with all the cardboard cars you put together. So onward and onward. The other acquisitions for the day are some physical decks of Keyforger, some Star Wars narrative dice, and some Pathfinder pawns for treasure, which were a cheap price, so bring them as well. So, day 2 of UK Expo. Last night got back to the hotel about 5 o'clock, had a few beers and a meal. The big talking point last night was some new miniatures coming, which are MDF flats, which are printed, really high quality. They're kick-starting in about 3 weeks' time. They're doing a large fortress, skeletons, and then like a knight army. And the potential for it is outstanding. They're using designs by One Monk Miniatures, which you might have seen before. They've been selling PDFs for a few years now. And they do a fantasy range, fantasy adventures. So they printed these out, and they were giving away a sample figure, which are really nice. And I'll put a link on my blog, on the blog, and in the show notes for these, because I think it might be attractive to some people. So we'll be heading off to the show shortly. I'm going to the Hilton today, to the where all the PGers are, and hopefully going to meet up with a few other podcasters. So speak to you in a bit. Day 2 of UK Games Expo, and today I met up with another one of the OSR Anchorites, Colin, Spikepit Green. So first of all, we went to a seminar on GMing at conventions. That was just for an hour, very interesting. And then Colin and I got to do a bit of role playing, and we took part in a Dark Places and Demigodons game run by John Large from Red Dice Diaries. Played some school kids investigating some weird disappearances with 4 other people we'd never gamed with before, so yeah, it was real good fun. I think I'll have to get myself Dark Places and Demigodons now as OSR game, very easy to understand. If you've played the basic D&D, it's straightforward, and we had a good time. And it was nice to finally meet up with Colin. We've spoken on the Discord channel and what have you, so it was nice to put a face to the name, and we both agreed that we'd have to game again sometime, whether it be online or at another convention, so great meeting up. So my thoughts on Games Expo this year. It was busier than last year. Even on the Friday we noticed there was a lot more people in there. It could also be due to the school kids being on holidays. Plenty of traders there, with the bring and buy moving to Hall 3. It's allowed more traders in Hall 2. There's some interesting stuff. As I said, I bought some Lamentations books and spoke to James Raggy. The Vektorace I bought is a racing game from Gen 42, and I've already made the cardboard cars, which are a bit like Indy 500 cars. So I will put a link up to those pictures on my blog, and you can see what they look like made. So I'm looking forward to trying that. I have now since ordered Dark Places and Demigorgons, like Colin I can't say either. So that's ordered, so we can play some Stranger Things. So I might do some one-shots in that down the club. That's an order from Drive-Thru, the hardback printed copy. The other thing I wanted to mention was a piece of software called Masters Toolkit, and that's by Forge, and it's designed for games masters to project floor plans onto TV screens on the table. Unlike Roll20 and Fantasy Ground, it's not designed for online play. This is for offline play at your local gaming club. The software is cheap at the moment. It's an alpha, so it's $30 or £25, and that's from arkenforge.com. They do a 7-day trial, so you can try it out. There's quite a few videos on YouTube that describe how to use it, but it's very, very easy to design in it, and you plug a second screen in. At the show they had a 50-inch flat screen TV on the table. The Games Master has his laptop connected to it, and the Games Master can project onto the screen, so you can use it as your tabletop at the table. The beauty of it is it's got fog of war built in, which is really easy to use. It has the dynamic lighting, so if you put torches in there, it lights up. It has animated videos that you can embed, so you can have butterflies flying around. There's already some free art packs from contributors out there. So for 25 quid, I think I'm going to be buying this. And the downside is I'm probably going to have to buy another large screen TV to take to the games day, but I'll give a link in the show notes to where you can see the Forge, and I'll show a link to some videos as well where you can have a look at it. So that's all for this episode. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Dragons Are Real podcast. You can contact me by leaving a message via the Anchor app, or visit the podcast website petejones.neocity.org, or on OSR Anchorites at the Audio Dungeon Discord. Thanks for listening. The opening music is Siesta by Desar. The closing music is Controlled Distress by BizBaz Studio.